Good afternoon, everyone. Actually, I want to tell you one thing that this is the third lecture I am taking from the mobile data, so it may exhaust any time. There is no internet in the university today, so if it exhausted, you have to leave the meeting automatically. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I think we come up to delta variation, no capital variation we have seen. In capital delta variation, we have seen firstly a small delta variation, and now we have to see the capital delta variation. In before that, we have seen the definition of a action also. Right? Anyone remember the definition of action? Yes. What is action? In physics, it is nothing but the line integral of twice the kinetic energy is nothing but the action. Now we have to see what is a delta capital delta variation. Actually, we have already seen what is a small delta variation. We have seen that how it works, and there is no variation in the endpoints in the time. So we have found that delta qj is 0 as well as delta t is also 0. We have worked these things in the Hamilton's principal formulation. Okay, Hamilton's principle का यूज करते टाइम पे हमने ये यूज किया है ना डेल्टा क्यू जी जीरो डेल्टा टी जीरो वाई डेल्टा टी जीरो बिकॉज द टाइम इज फिक्स्ड आउट फ्रॉम टी नॉट टू टी वन as delta qj is also fixed because the 2 points p and q are also fixed out. Okay, in capital delta variation the time is allowed to vary along any path even at the end points, right? Here time was fixed out, but here time is allowed to vary. Time is allowed to vary at the endpoints. A variation in which the coordinates of the endpoints being fixed while time is allowed to vary is called as a delta variation. Time is allowed to vary, but endpoints are fixed. Okay, now let me draw the sketch so that you can understand what is uh, delta variation. Let us have the coordinates. Say this is what the time coordinate, time axis, and this is, say, we can say qj. Okay. Now let me draw the sketch of, say we are going from the points A to B. The path is APB, right? Say here I can say this is what your Q1, and suppose this is say Q2. Okay, these are simply position vectors. Using generalized coordinate we are naming this. Now let us have the another path, say it should be exactly same like that only. A dash, E dash, B dash. Okay, this is say time t naught and t1. Okay, next whatever this one we have, this we can say t naught plus delta t naught. This will be t1 plus delta t1. Okay. So from the sketch, APB is a actual path. Okay, this is actual path, and this is a valid path. Okay, this is what a path we are assuming that you will follow this path, and this is what the path you have followed. And actually, later on I will explain this. First one, what is the relation delta I? That is, what is the relation between delta and derivative is delta is di by d alpha into d alpha. This is what a relation, and the relation delta I, small delta I, is dou I by dou alpha into d alpha. This is what a difference between the capital delta and the small delta. Now let me go for this figure, what it tells you. These are nothing but the generalized coordinates. That means the points P and Q are, instead of P and Q, it is A and B, and the position vectors of A and B are Q1 and Q2. And this is what initial time T naught. After some time, it will be T naught plus delta T naught, and this is what the T1, and this is, sorry, it should be T1 actually. This is what T1, and this one is T naught plus delta T naught, and this is T1 plus delta T1. तो इनिशियली जो पोजीशन है आपका ए, वहाँ पे टाइम क्या होगा टी नॉट, एंड फाइनल पोजीशन एट बी इट इज टी वन. At the position B, time will be T1, and this is what T naught plus delta T naught, T1 plus delta T1. And we can say now, here I will write this A, P, B is a actual path. And this A dash, P dash, B dash is a valid path. Okay, now what is the difference between actual path and valid path? Suppose I told you to come from hostel to the School of Computational Science. As you haven't experienced this one because of the corona, but still I will take the same example so that we can have the easier one. Because if suppose point A is hostel and point B is your School of Computational Science, right? So if you are going from A to B, what is given to us in this case? Time can be varied. Okay, in capital delta variation, time is allowed to vary, but endpoints are fixed out. That means you have to come from hostel to the your department or your class itself. Right. Now, if I told you to come from there today, then many of the student as time is not the case, but only endpoint is fixed out. So you may go to some another way. That means sometime you may go to canteen and then come back, right? So the path may be safe. If this is say path from hostel to department, you may go to the canteen and then come back to department. So you are not going to follow the correct path, or we can say it is a uh, valid path, a path from hostel to department. That is a valid path, but you have followed this way, right? Or you may go to the say if you may go to Tapri of our highway, and you can come back again to department because time is not fixed out. If time was fixed out, everyone follow the minimum distance path. But if time is not fixed out, you may follow some different path, right? But endpoints are fixed out. So that is what the thing. APB is actual path means what? You have gone to canteen and then come from hostel to canteen, canteen to department. And here valid path means what? This path should be followed directly from hostel to department itself. Okay, have you understood this page? Right? Have you understood this image?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Simply the two different things are given, that one valid path and actual path. What is the condition in capital delta variation? Time is allowed to vary and endpoints are fixed. Okay, so this is at position A it is T naught, at position B it is T1, and we are increasing some more time because time is allowed to vary. T naught plus delta T1 naught and T1 plus delta T1. That is what a valid path, and this is what an actual path is followed. Okay, so this is what a capital delta variation. Now let us go to find out the relation between capital delta and a small delta. Okay. Let us find out the relation between capital delta and let us consider, let f be a function of qj dot and t. Let us assume f be the function of qj dot and t. Only 31 students are there. Why? What is the problem? Is there any problem in joining? Again, your present is decreasing day by day. Only 31 students. Okay, let us calculate delta f. Capital delta f will be equal to, as f is a function of qj dot nt, let me evaluate the derivative as summation over j dou f by dou qj into delta qj, correct? Plus summation over j f with respect to qj dot into delta qj dot, plus last term is, it is not involving with the summation, it is dou f by dou t into delta t. Now, in capital delta variation, time is not fixed out. So, what we can say, we have to now find out the value of a delta qj dot and delta t. So, what will be delta qj from this relation is, we have written here the relation of capital delta. I is any function, no? And the capital delta operated on any function will be written like this, di by d alpha into d alpha. So we can write this as dqj by d alpha into d alpha. We can write the reason as by definition of capital delta. And now we know that what we know is qj is a function of alpha and t, right? If you remember, we have seen the 6 Euler-Lagrange's theorem. In that I have written the equation. Okay, in that equation we have written that for different values of alpha there is different path, right? For alpha equal to 0, we are coinciding to our original path or minimum path, and hence qj is a function of alpha of t, alpha and t. So how to find out a derivative dqj by d alpha? So for that, let me write down delta qj will be equal to, okay, qj we have to evaluate with respect to alpha. So we have to evaluate first qj with respect to alpha with respect to alpha, plus, right? Plus काय असणार आहे qj with respect to t, then derivative of t with respect to alpha into this d alpha as it is. We have to get. Okay. Why this is so? Because qj is simply not a function of alpha, it is a function of alpha and t. That's why we have evaluated the partial derivative. qj is a function of alpha with respect to alpha. qj with respect to t and t with respect to alpha. Okay. Now what will be the value of this delta qj is equals to qj with respect to alpha, and this d alpha will be equal to 1, and this d alpha, if I multiplied inside, this will be d alpha plus dou qj by dou t into dt, because this d alpha will get cancelled. Okay. Now, since alpha is fixed out, why alpha is fixed out? Because we say that qj is fixed out, that is endpoints are fixed out. If endpoints are fixed out, what will be the value of dou qj with respect to t? It is nothing but dqj by dt, right? Time is, we can say alpha is fixed out. If alpha is fixed out, that means we say that the endpoints are fixed out. So if qj is a function of simply t only, right? Alpha fix केला तर qj काय असणार आहे? qj is a simply function of a t. So we can say now this partial derivative will be converted to a total derivative. Have you understood this step? आहेत का सगळे?
Yes, ma'am.
So what we have done, simply alpha is fixed out. Alpha is fixed out means what? We have fixed out the value of alpha, mean that we have fixed out the path, that is from say A to B. The path between the 2 points A and B, that is fixed out. If it is fixed out, we can say this partial derivative may be now converted to a total derivative. Hence, the above equation now we can write it as a delta Qj is equals to, now what is the value of this dou Qj by dou alpha? This value we can write from this one. What is delta I? It is dou I by dou alpha into d alpha. In the very similar way, we can have the value of delta Qj as dou Qj by dou alpha into d alpha. This same thing we can use here, dou Qj by dou alpha into d alpha. आहे काय इथे dou Qj by dou alpha into d alpha is nothing but small delta Qj plus this one will be now total derivative, so we can write it as dQj by dt into what is the thing we have written here. So here if we write here dt by d alpha and this d alpha, sorry for that, actually we can write this one dt by d alpha into d alpha from definition of capital delta. Okay, what is we have dt by d alpha into d alpha, that is nothing but capital delta I. Okay, instead of having I we have dt small d, dt by d alpha into d alpha, that we can write it as capital delta t. Okay, actually in the initial step I have cancelled this d alpha, but instead of having that we can name it as capital delta t. By definition of capital delta I, it is di by d alpha into d alpha, right? So by definition of this one, instead of having I, it is t. So hence we have written instead of delta I, it is capital delta t. Okay. Now what will be the value of dQj by dt? It is nothing but Qj with respect to t, we are denoting by Qj dot delta t. Okay. Similarly, we can write for Qj dot also. Okay. Right. Why we are evaluating this one? We have to evaluate this. Okay. We can name it as say equation 1. From equation 1, we have evaluated this term. Now we have to evaluate delta Qj dot. Similarly, I can write delta Qj dot is equals to delta Qj dot plus Qj dot into Qj double dot in T. Okay. So we have found say equation 1, this is say equation 2. From our original equation 1, we have of two terms, right? That is delta Qj and capital delta Qj dot. So now let us put up this in our equation 1. Okay, we have found the value of capital delta Qj dot. Okay, substituting equation 1 and 2 in equation 1. Okay, so for that we can write this is capital delta F is equals to this summation over j dou F by dou Qj will be as it is outside. Now simply we have to write down the value of capital delta Qj here. It is nothing but Qj dot into capital delta T plus delta Qj plus next term is summation over j dou F by dou Qj dot as it is into value of delta Qj dot, that is Qj double dot into delta T plus delta Qj dot, right? Simply I am writing our equation 1 by substituting the values which we have obtained plus dou F by dou T into capital delta T. Have you understood up to this step? Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Now simply we have to open these brackets so that we can write the terms. It will be summation over j f with respect to Qj into qj dot into capital delta T plus summation over j f with respect to qj into small delta qj plus summation over j f with respect to qj dot into qj double dot into delta T plus next term is summation over j f with respect to qj dot into delta qj dot plus f with respect to t into delta t. So capital delta F is equals to, now we will combine the terms with small delta t and we will combine the sum terms with capital delta t. Okay. How many terms are there with capital delta T? These three terms. Okay. Let me write down by taking common the capital delta T. What are the terms we have? Summation over j f with respect to qj into qj dot plus summation over j f with respect to qj dot into qj double dot. Okay. This term I am writing. Second one plus delta t is common f with respect to t, the common capital delta t. Okay. Now how many terms we are remaining? The two terms. Which are the two terms remaining with us? Delta qj dot and this is delta qj dot. Now let me add one more term which is 0. Okay. We'll come to know afterwards. The first one is summation over j f with respect to qj into delta qj plus summation over j capital F with respect to qj dot into delta qj dot plus one more term I am going to add. This term is 0. Why this is 0? You will come to know dou f by dou t into delta t. Why this is 0? Because we have studied that in small delta time is not allowed to vary because time t0 to t1 is fixed out. So if time is not allowed to vary, what will be delta t? It is equal to 0. Have you understood this step? Why 0 is added?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what we have to do now, after doing this adjustment, you can see now this one, whatever the bracket we have written, instead of 0, I have to write this one. Okay. So let us write down once again delta f, this bracket value into delta t. Now, can you see what will be this bracket value? काय आहे ते? Is it total derivative with respect to t? Because we have written dou f by dou qj, qj with respect to t is nothing but dot. F with respect to qj dot with respect to t. That will be qj double dot and again f with respect to t. So this I can say it is a total derivative of a function f with respect to t. Is it correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let us go for the next one. What will be kept next one? It is nothing but small delta f. It is small delta means for dou f by dou qj into delta qj. Just like a derivative, it is total derivative of f with respect to t. Here it is simply delta f. What will be small delta f? As f is a function of qj dot and t. So it will be delta f. How to calculate? Dou f by dou qj into delta qj, dou f by dou qj dot into delta qj dot plus dou f by dou t into delta t. Okay, this is what a small delta f. Considering f is a function of qj dot and t. Okay, if you understood this step, in the next step we can eliminate f from every side or from both sides. We can say it is d by dt of capital delta t plus delta. This is what we get the relation between small delta and the capital delta. Friends, F is any function which is a function of qj dot nt. This relation will be true for every function, and hence we can say that capital delta and small delta will have this relation, or we can say capital delta minus small delta is d by dt of a capital delta t. Okay. You can see from the first one. If you have a doubt, you can ask. What we have done, we have found the relation between capital delta and small delta. Okay, what we have done, simply we have constructed one function f. After that, we have operated capital delta, and then we have found the values of capital delta qj, capital delta qj dot, considering qj as a function of alpha and t. Okay, as if you are going to fix out alpha, this dou qj by dou t will be equal to dqj by dt, because path is that is endpoints are fixed out. Hence, we have written this. After using equation 1 or after getting 1, we can write similarly for qj dot. Okay, जहाँ पे qj है वहाँ पे सिर्फ qj dot substitute करना है. यहाँ पे qj dot है already, so that's why it will be qj double dot. After using equation 1 and 2 in our equation 1, just simplify the terms, add the terms of capital delta t on one side and add one zero term. The value of this term is 0, okay, because since the small delta t is a 0, and hence we get the relation between capital delta and the small delta. Okay, any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay, let us go for the next one is state and prove principle of the least action. State and prove principle of the least action. I will only write the statement because since data will be exhausted and the lecture will be end. State and prove principle of a least action. Okay, statement. The path of a conservative scleronomic system is such that, I will write the statement. Path of conservative scleronomic system is such that integral of kinetic energy along it, integral of kinetic energy along that path or along it has extremum value, has extremum value. Okay, or in another way we can say, our statement for this is conservative scleronomic system in which H is conserved in which h is conserved, the principle of least action states that capital delta variation in action is zero. Principle of least action states that principle of the least action states that capital delta variation in action is zero. Okay? That is, we can say capital delta variation in the value of action is zero. Have you read the statement? Read the statement and try to understand what it is told. Okay, path of a conservative scleronomic system is such that integral of kinetic energy along it has a extremum value. Integral of the 2 times the kinetic energy is nothing but your action. No, integral of kinetic energy has a extremum value. Integral has extremum value means what? We have to find out the delta variation in the value of that integral should be equal to 0 means what? You are going to find out the extremum. Okay. The path of the conservative scleronomic. Scleronomic means what? It doesn't involve a time t such that the integral of the kinetic energy is along it has a extremum value. Or in another way, we can have conservative scleronomic system in which h is conserved. Okay, if you remember in the scleronomic system, we have found that h is equals to t plus v as well as h is nothing but constant. If you remember the two statement I told you that these are very important for the set exam. Many times these questions are asked that what is the case in case of a scleronomic conservative system? H is total energy as well as constant of motion. But in case of rheonomic, it is a not a total energy, but it may be a constant of motion. At that time, we have obtained some relation like H is equals to 2T2 plus T1 like that. Okay, if you remember that, you can have this conservative scleronomic system in which H is conserved. The principle of least action states that capital delta variation in action is zero. Capital delta variation in action is zero, or in we can say that integral of the kinetic energy has a extremum value. Integral has extremum value means what? Small delta or capital delta variation is zero. So here also we can have capital delta variation in action is zero. Okay, this 2t is nothing but your action, no? Definition of action. And in that, if we are going to find out delta variation in that, if it is equal to 0, that is nothing but we are going to find out the extremum value. Okay. So delta A equal to 0 means what? We can write that is this step. Capital delta equal to 0 means what? Capital delta integration d naught to t1 2t dt equal to 0. Okay. So this is what we have to prove. Okay. This proof is much big, not complete today. What is our aim to prove? Capital delta integration t naught to t1 cap 2t dt is equal to 0. Okay. So we can now end the lecture. Thank you. You can leave the meeting.
Madam, आज practical